Good evening, everyone. So, just going to make a quick video on directional bias on USDJPY. So, start from a daily time frame, and I'll take you through how I'll get into the markets. Okay. So, first thing first, I'll go to the higher time frame and look at the trend of the market. So, right now, this market is making lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows. So right now it's safe to say, um, uh, it's safe to say, USDJPY is trending down. Okay, so yeah, so um, right now since we know the direction of the market, we're just going to look out for break of structure, break of structure to the downside. So that tells us that this market is a downtrending market. So right here now, of course, our structure, I trade structure, liquidity, and point of interest. So right now, for my structure is a downtrend. So, and what I'm going to do next is a break of structure to the downside. What I'm going to do next, I'll look for my liquidity. Liquidity is just right at the first pullback. So at this point now, you can see on the daily time frame, we'll have the order block right here. Okay, so that's the valid order block. This is a daily time frame. This is just to tell us the bias of the market. Do you understand? To tell us that okay, it's safe for us to start looking for entries to the downside, or it's safe for us to start looking for entries to the upside. So now this confirmation now with this setup I have, I know that USDJPY is going to is a bearish market. It's going to trend down. It's going to come and take out this guy here, the whole of this liquidity right here. So what I'm going to do now is I'll scale down to the 4-hour time frame, and oh yeah, so on the 4-hour time frame, I will look for same thing. I'll look for structure because this is just for me to confirm the directional bias of the market, because there's no way I'm going to say, okay, right now I'm going to get my entry from the daily time frame. That's too much. That's too much of a stop loss for me. Okay, so once I get it that by the bias on the higher time frame, I scale down to a smaller time, like 15 minutes, 30 minutes. I start looking for my setup, trade and take profit, trade and take profits until the whole of the trend. I'll take out the whole of the trend. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to look for structure again. So this trade right here is making higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, and before you know it, it gave us a market structure shift around there. Do you understand? After tapping into the daily time frame point of interest, market give us a market structure shift right here, and that tells us that the market is ready to go down. Do you understand? So at this point here, that's our first pullback, which is liquidity. Then still we're looking for is the pure earnings to liquidity. Pure earnings to liquidity is breakout block. So if I'm going to get into this trade, maybe sometime yesterday, I think during the NFP, I think that was when this trade played out. So if I'm going to get into the trade, I'm supposed to get into the trade directly from this breakout block, because that's the next point closest to inducement. So when I take this trade, then I will look forward to take profit somewhere around this area. That would be my first TP point. Then I'll look for another setup again to go down. But generally, I know that this trade is a downtrend. What I'm going to do is to look for entries to the downside to clear the whole of this guy, the whole of this liquidity that was generated when markets was gravitating towards the daily time frame point of interest. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sell till I'm not going to hold this trade, because I'm a day trader. I'm not a swing trader. If you're a swing trader, you're supposed to hold from maybe at that point to this point. But for me, because I'm a day trader, I'll just take my profits. I'll just take my profit at every liquidity point I see in the market. So right now, if I'm going to take my first entry, my first TP is going to be somewhere around there. Then I'll wait for another setup again, structural liquidity, point of interest, get into the market again, then take another entry again, then take my profit around any liquidity that was generated that time. But I might not do all of that on this. No, I will not actually not mind. I won't even do all of my entry analysis here. I will just go down to 30 or 15 minutes and start looking for here. It's safer to get in. You see structure more on 15 minutes and 30 minutes. Once you know your directional bias, your structure will play out more on the smaller time frame. So if I take my first TP here, what I'm going to do next is I'm going to wait for the next structure liquidity point of interest and take my profit again until I'll keep selling. Reason why I'm selling is maybe people, if everybody is buying, I'm selling. One thing that I know that I like to stress to everybody, both my students, is directional bias is the key to this, the heart of the market. Because once you're supposed to be buying and you're selling, market will take you out. One, because at the time you feel like, okay, I'm going to take my profit somewhere around there, before you know, that zone is a point of interest for buys. Before you know, the market will take you out. Do you understand? So if you know the directional bias of the market, it will help you. It will help you a lot. Like, it will be safe for you to say, okay, I'm going to take this trade and to get to this place, and it will actually get to that place. But once your bias is wrong, it's just know that the whole of your trade is going to, you might move a little bit, be in profit a little bit, but before you know, market will take you out. So this is what I would do. Anytime I'm looking for anytime I wake up in the morning, I'll keep looking for entries to sell USDJPY. Reason being that USDJPY has given me a bearish trend to the downside. This movement can be for another week or two. Do you understand? So what we'll keep doing is look for sales till this trend line liquidity is cleared out, unless market give us a reason to buy. But at the moment, this is a bearish trade. So yeah, I think that's enough for today. Maybe I would try and make more videos like this and drop on my YouTube. But you can just rush down to my YouTube, subscribe, so when I drop important video like this, you can actually see them. Thank you so much for today. Good night. Bye.